Welcome back, everybody. Several days have passed. I think one of my famous last words in the last video was, I want to be done in a day. That did not happen. Basically, ran out of daylight, came back the next day, and I've wanted to put Railinbox across the back here. And it took me about 3 days to figure out that I really needed to give up on trying to do my own font. I've done it before, but I just could not get what I wanted. I couldn't really find what I wanted online either, so I found something that I'm going to make myself happy with. And I also wanted to do this to show you another thing. Basically, you don't have to be completely artistic to do this type of stuff. I basically went online, picked up, actually I got on the computer, pulled up Paint, every computer's got it, went online, found some fonts. I don't remember the font page, but I looked up fonts on Google, found a place that you can download fonts right into your thing. I can't remember the name of it. It was like second or third one down when I Googled it. Font something or other. Really cool. They got all kinds of stuff you can put it in. Like I wanted Gothic. So I looked up Gothic. Well, I came and found this. I don't remember the name of the font. But this is what I wanted. I don't like the X. It looks too much like an R or a T or an L or a lot of other stuff. So I decided I was going to make my own. So I went and modified, oops, I don't have it right here. I went and modified with another font. Took the X, basically modified it to fit in here. When it's all said and done, and I'm done with all these, you won't tell the difference. Anyway, obviously, once you get this, you gotta blow it up to be the size you wanted it. I came home, I'm like, all right, I can draw from this onto here. No, I can't. It sucked. Wasted another night, got frustrated, went back in the house. Went back to work, grabbed the old copier at work, put it in there, blew it up to 200%, which took me to about this size, and still wasn't the size I wanted. So I then went and blew it up another 200% and got the size I want. Now, if you watch all these videos, you saw my video where I went and graphited the backs of these. That's what I did. Graphited the back. I taped off my area here. I basically I got the measuring tape out again. I don't know why I don't like the measuring tape, but it works. I got the measuring tape out, measured where I basically wanted it, and then went from there. If you look on here, you can still see. I basically measured up about 3 inches here. Then I figured I wanted my letters to be about 5 inches, so I measured that. I was figuring this line was going to be for my lowercase. This would be for my uppercase. But I didn't end up necessarily doing it. I think maybe it's a little close. But I did a halfway mark. Basically, this is all just stuff I used to get my bearings on where I wanted it. I was trying to draw it. It didn't work. So I opted this way. I graphited the back. I came back, and I drew it in. Now, this is a lot better. I like it so much better seeing this than I do this. You know, because they got some other lines in here. Keep in mind, we're going to play with shadows and highlights on here, so it's going to make this look even better. I did that. Did my O. I'm going to do the X here for you guys. It's really fun because I've drawn on these parts before, which makes it kind of easy. Another way I'll kind of show you. I'll go ahead and pull these off. That might help out a little bit. I'm not going to throw these away. I don't want these to go away because I'm still going to use it as a guideline when I get my airbrush out. So, all right, I'm going to come back. I'm going to grab my other pencil. I got to have my Lucky Heart pencil. My daughter says every time you use this, it's lucky. So it hasn't been lucky for 3 days. Hopefully it's a lot better today. Anyway, We're going to come in here. I'm going to scribble it a little bit because it's a little harder to see. So I'm just going to follow these lines. Now, keep in mind, even though we want this to be somewhat close, it doesn't have to be exact. The reason is, we're going to be changing a lot of this anyway when we get to the next part. You know, like I've always said, when you cut, it's completely different than when you draw. So, we just basically want our outline to give us our idea of what we've got going on here. Oh boy. Let's try it a little bit more. That's pretty tough to see still. Now, another secret is, alright, see now here, I can see my X in the beginning here, like this, because I scribbled it. You can sit here, and this is a trick I used to do. This is a trick I used from when I did vinyl. I admitted on the camera I used to be a vinyl guy. I did stickers on cars, not for me, but for customers. Here's a secret though. If you're going to line up your stickers and that, I always would sit there and flip things back and forth, alright? If you do this fast enough, you can see. I'm going to try to show you my point of view. If I'm sitting here and I'm flipping that, you can see exactly where that line is. Hopefully you can see it. I don't know. I'll have to watch the playback later and see. If not, you'll figure it out. It's not that hard. Basically, you're just going to flip it back and forth to see it, alright? You do it enough, you can see your lines, and you can come back and draw on in. Okay? So now, I'm going to come back down here, and once you get a few spots, you'll get your bearings and you can see it. I can see a lot of it actually. So, there's that. Wow. Wow, I'm pretty happy with that now. Now, it doesn't look like much there. Don't look like it matches, but if you pull that up, it ain't too far off if you ask me. Of course, it'll get better again once it's pinstripe painted and highlighted, shadowed, and all the other crap. But anyway, we've got our box now. So, I'm really happy with that. And I'm going to change it up a little bit. I really wanted these really cursive. I might bring my tail around a little bit. I'm going to play with it a little bit because I don't like right out of the box. And you know what? I suggest that you guys do that as well. Take it just a little bit further, a few minutes extra, put your touch in it, will completely change it from everybody else's. I don't like to use stencils and stuff because, especially when I'm using airbrush, I have some Craig Fraser stencils. His skull works amazing, so his Skull Master stencils are great. If you've ever watched a video of him doing those, he always suggests you take a little effort and do a little more to make it yourself. Why? Well, because you don't want to be at the car show and you're sitting there and have some guy go home up and go, "Oh, you used the Craig Fraser Skull Master 2 stencil." I hate that. I've done it. I did it on my buddy's Avenger, but when I did his, I moved the thing around and it was basically a texture. It wasn't like I was doing it as a particular piece of art. So basically now, I'm going to leave you guys for a few minutes. I'm going to go and draw on this a little bit, try to make it a little cooler, and come back. I'm probably going to have the railing part done. Since you've seen what I'm doing here, I don't want to bore you with all that. You can get it. Just if you need to know, go back and watch that part over and over again. It's the same as all the other letters, and it works for everything. You know, keep in mind, mistakes, they happen. Go with it. Sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. That's why they invented the eraser. Have one of these around. Have plenty of pencils. Find a pencil sharpener. I got to go find an X-Acto knife each time. Works a lot easier if you got the sharpener, or even Eversharps are better than that, but I think my daughter's confiscated all those and I can't find them in her room. Anyway, I'm going to let this go. We're going to come back and see what we got, and we're going to keep going, and we're going to try to get this done. Wish me luck.